근데 start 보다 양을 내고 싶었지 못해요. 아니고 무서워.
Professor Alden stared at the blackboard in his Columbia University lecture hall, his morning coffee forgotten and cold. The complex astrophysics problem that had consumed his research for 15 years, dubbed Ethelred's anomaly, was solved. Not just solved, but with an elegance and a methodological flourish he had never considered. "Who did this?" he whispered, then whirled around, his voice echoing off the marble. "Don't lie. Which one of you has the audacity to solve my life's work in one night?" A graduate student, Vikram, stammered, "Professor, we swear, the board was empty when we left." The hall was locked. The professor ran a hand through his silver hair. Someone came. Someone with a mind like Einstein. The scrawled, unpracticed handwriting on the board wasn't that of his polished Ivy Leaguers. It was the handwriting of a raw, untamed intellect. He called campus security. The grainy black and white CCTV footage from 3:30 a.m. showed a slight, shadowy figure slipping into the hall. If someone called him a trespasser, then no, the professor corrected, his anger transforming into awe. He didn't steal. He gifted this university a new theorem. Bring him to me. With respect. An hour later, 2 security guards escorted a terrified young man into the staff room. His name was Leo, and he wore worn-out clothes that smelled of subway tunnels and the downtown shelter. He was sure he was being arrested for breaking and entering. "I was just looking for a place to think my whole life," he stammered, head bowed. "Raised up," Professor Alden said, his voice softening. "Look at me. You are not in trouble. You are the sun." As the professor guided him to the board, a chalk in his hand, Leo's fear melted away. He began to explain. His voice, initially shaky, grew steady with a profound, innate confidence. He described how he'd visualized the problem not as abstract math, but as a dance of celestial bodies and cosmic winds, linking variables in a way the textbooks never did. When he finished, the lecture hall was silent enough to hear the distant wail of a New York City siren. The students, who had initially looked at the disheveled boy with disdain, now stared with pure astonishment. Professor Alden took off his own expensive wristwatch. It looked comically large on Leo's thin wrist, but its gleam was dim compared to the brilliance shining from the boy's eyes. "From today," the professor declared, his voice firm, "you will not pick up a broom or sort recyclables. From today, you pick up the pen. Your studies, your food, your lodging, everything is my responsibility. Let's see who dares to stop you." Leo cried. He wept openly, the weight of a lifetime of struggle crashing over him. He fell at the professor's feet. "Sir, just let me study. I'm not hungry. I just want to solve the questions." Professor Alden picked him up and hugged him tightly. That day, in a university that smelled of old books and expensive cologne, a young man who carried the scent of the city's gritty streets taught everyone a lesson in undiscovered humanity. After the final bell, Leo walked out onto the sun-drenched steps. He looked at his old, tattered backpack, the one that had held all his worldly possessions. He glanced at it once, then threw it decisively into a university trash bin. It wasn't just a bag. It was the heavy weight of his old life, discarded forever. He looked up at the sky. The sun was shining directly over Manhattan, bathing the skyscrapers in gold. Just like his name, Leo, which meant lion, but in that moment, he felt like the sun itself. This story tells us that genius is not a privilege of the elite. It can be born in a Bronx shelter or a Brooklyn basement. There are so many Leos in our cities, their potential wasting away in the shadows of indifference every day. All we need are more Professor Aldens, those who can recognize and polish these hidden diamonds. If you encounter such a spirit, don't look away. Look deeper. A universe of dreams might be growing behind their eyes. Being poor is not a crime, but allowing a brilliant mind to be lost to poverty is society's greatest failure. How did you like this story? Have you ever witnessed such hidden talent? Comment below. Be sure to tell us, and if this story moved you, please like and share. Remember, the real rich person is not the one who has the most notes in their wallet, but the one who has the most light to share with the world.